Hello guys and welcome back to the workshop. In this video we're going to be talking about this controller right here on the screen. I bought it just to see what it's like, pretty much. So this is the classic wired game controller retro gamepad joystick pull Xbox game tool. So this is a Chinese knockoff Xbox controller. Doesn't really have branding or anything like that, so it's supposed to be, an OEM knockoff, but it doesn't have the Xbox logo. So this is what it looks like. If you don't specify which one you want, you'll be getting the green one. At least that's what I got. So just a generic Xbox controller. I thought I'd try it out because at the point of ordering this, I only had one controller for the Xbox. It's a Juke and a couple other, PS2 controller adapters. So I could use PS2 controllers on the Xbox, but I wanted to try and see what it's like. So it cost a grand total of 9.42 euros. The price actually went down after I ordered it, but yeah, whatever. We'll talk about that right later. So, strangely enough, it arrived really quickly, like maybe in a week or so. And yeah, this is what it looks like. Now you might notice that the black thing is missing. Well, that's just because it essentially fell off on the first day. Like, I was looking around it, and as I held it like this, it just fell off. So they're using a very high quality adhesive on it, and couldn't be bothered to putting it back on. So yeah, first impressions, it looks pretty nice actually. Hang on, let me sit the camera down. If I could do it without it falling off. Okay, I can't. So first impressions, it looks pretty nice. There aren't really too many bad joints. It's a little bit rough over here, right there, but generally it looks fine. It's got the vibration motors if you're into that kind of garbage. I'm not really, but yeah, it's an S controller knockoff. Build quality, first impressions, it seems nice. The D-pad feels okay. I'm not sure. I have never actually used an S controller. I only have Duke controllers, but the D-pad is alright, but it's not very good. The analog sticks, they feel nice. They don't bind. They don't get stuck or anything like that, so it's alright. Feel wise. One thing I noticed, which was a little bit odd, is that the Y button. I don't know if you can hear that. It's got this weird, like, sticky sound. It doesn't stick, but sometimes you can hear that when you're pressing it. It's a really cheap feeling. The other buttons are all fine. Hang on, I'm in a game right now. Yeah, all the buttons feel fine. Triggers feel okay. So everything seems to be fine. For 9.42 euros, it doesn't seem too bad, but we'll only know how good is it if we're going to check it out in a video game. So right here I have GTA 3 running on my grubby old Xbox. I got this recently, so ignore the Xbox. It's pretty filthy and everything, but soon enough I'll be potentially making a video on it, trying to clean it up and modding it. We'll be installing an Aladdin chip in it because it's a 1.6 Xbox. So let's see what it's like. I've got GTA 3 loaded up here on the old Xbox. This one is a soft modded Xbox, so I just installed the DVD onto the hard drive. Right off the bat, the analog stick is way too sensitive. So that's essentially the full running speed. And I'm only moving it like halfway, if you can see that. That's essentially the biggest issue with all of these controllers from China. They always get this wrong. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of some sort of tolerances they need to make it so that the the analog stick is super sensitive, so all of them work just fine, you know, acceptably. But I don't think this is acceptable. I mean, look how much I can still move it and keep running full speed. That's just not right. It's very hard to move it gently. If I'm trying to look around, I guess it's doable, but you have to be super careful. It's much harder to do than with an original Xbox controller. I'm not saying it's impossible, but let's just say there's a mission in this game called Bomb the Base. Unfortunately, I don't have a save for it because I've only just started this game up. But that mission really requires high precision with the sniper rifle. We're gonna just have to pick up Misty here. But yeah, looking around, it's a little bit tricky to move it very gently because, like I said, the analog sticks are just way too sensitive. So, as a sort of throwaway controller, it could work for like maybe testing stuff, or if you really just want something new and you don't want to buy a used Xbox controller for cheap, I guess it's okay. Because at least it's brand new. That's what it has going for it. Compared to the, obviously, the used controllers you can buy on various websites. So you can just, you know, plug and play. Don't have to clean it up or anything like that. But you might run into trouble. I feel like most games should be playable though. Like games that let you adjust the sensitivity of the analog stick should be fine. It will not solve the issue of you know, trying to move it gently. You'll just have it like it will always be less movement by lowering the sensitivity, as opposed to changing the actual sensitivity of the analog stick physically. So it will not be perfect, but I feel like you can get away with it. Is it worth 9.4 euros though? I would question that. I'm not sure it does. It probably doesn't. I wouldn't buy it again. So I would say no. Maybe for 5 euros, then sure, because you can actually find pretty cheap Xbox controllers, but it's kind of a gamble on eBay. You can never tell if you're getting the same thing as what you think you're getting. It can be problematic. One thing to note is, surprisingly, the these buttons here, the face buttons, they are on the original Xbox controller. They are analog, so they're pressure sensitive. I can't really think of many games that take advantage of that because most games will use the triggers for acceleration. But I do know one game, Silent Hill 2. In that game, if you press the attack button with more force, James will execute a different type of attack, heavy attack. Whereas if you just press the button gently, he will do a light attack. So, and that actually worked with this controller, so at least that works. That's nice. So they got the pressure sensitivity down. I thought it was just going to be on or off because it's a cheap controller. But no, they actually went the extra mile to include that. Now, the thing I'm just wondering about is why on earth did they not just you know, do a better job with the analog sticks? But there must be some sort of a reason behind that. Now, one thing I kind of want to actually try before I end the video is maybe we could see if this controller gets recognized as an original Xbox controller. I'm not sure if it will be, but I'm not sure if I can actually run it either, but we'll see. So there's a program called Chimp. I don't have it installed right now. I could I guess install it. It shouldn't take too much free space. It shouldn't take up too much space on the hard drive. This still has the original 8GB hard drive. So there are some programs that only work with first-party controllers. Like, I have no idea why, but Chimp is one of these programs. it will only function if you plug in an original Microsoft controller. And I learned that the hard way because I couldn't use it when I had when I only had a controller adapter. I didn't have any controllers for the Xbox, my first Xbox, so I had to buy an original Duke just to be able to control that program. So we're gonna wait for Hexen to load up, and we'll see if he can do something. I don't think I can run anything like that inside of Hexen. I can probably only install Chimp. I don't think I can run it from the DVD, but we'll see. Also, XBlastOS is also another program that will allow you to do that. So yeah, I don't know. Hang on. No, none of these programs. I guess I'll just install XBlastOS to the E drive. Do we even have an E drive? Yeah, of course we do have an E drive. What am I saying? Okay, we're gonna install XBlastOS. So this is just to change a couple settings. Like for example, you can change the region and video output and stuff like that. We're gonna see if we can actually run it. I think it should be able to run it. So it should be E drive apps XBlastOS. Here we go. I think it should be able to just run it from here. But okay, there we go. All right, so XBlastOS. Nope, doesn't work. So this controller does not get recognized, obviously, as an original Microsoft controller. That was to be expected, but I wanted to check it out. So it's not perfect for, you know, just as a throwaway controller to work on your system if you have to use a homebrew program that will only work with an original Xbox controller. But it will do for some games, or maybe if you just want a ton of controllers to play with, like some sports games, for that it's perfect. But it's up to you, really, if you can live with the way too sensitive analog stick. Other than that, everything else is fine with the controller. So yeah, thank you for watching, and that was my review of this Xbox controller. See you again soon.